Now, 37 years after a tragic crash on the job left him paralyzed, former Chicago police officer Jim Crowley will be laid to rest. His procession for his funeral is underway right now. In 1987, Officer Crowley was hit by a drunk driver while on patrol. He suffered a brain injury and couldn't walk or take care of himself. And then last month, Crowley died from those injuries at a group home in Texas. He was 59 years old. A funeral for the former officer begins in about 11 minutes or so at 9:30 this morning at St. Christina Catholic Church on the south side. We want to turn now to Chris Habermel, who is over or can talk about the procession taking place right now, a procession, of course, to honor that officer. Chris?
Well, Dana, amazingly enough, it was 37 years ago today, this day, September 4th, 1987, when Patrol Officer Crowley was injured in that collision at 15th and Ashland that killed a fellow officer and injured 3 other officers. And as you can see, this is proof positive that regardless of whether you battle injury in the aftermath of a trauma suffered while on duty or maybe recuperating at home, you're never forgotten. And this is the neighborhood coming out, lining the entire route all the way from the funeral home where Officer Crowley has been at 107th and Pulaski, proceeding along 107th over to Holman Avenue, and then south on Holman to 110th, and 110th over to South Christiana for the funeral mass. There are a lot of things, a lot of dynamics that go on here with first responders, whether fire or police officers, and today we're honoring Star 4169, who reached the end of watch just on Thursday, August 22nd here after battling back from traumatic brain injury for 37 years after that terrible crash on the near west side. As we're turning here, you can see that the neighborhood has come out. Police officers, fellow officers are in the procession. You have the honor guard, full honors being rendered, for this is a line of duty death. On that night, the squad car was going west on 15th, and a car traveling northbound on Ashland hit that squad car broadside while they were responding to a man with a gun call there while assigned to Public Housing North. Those 5 officers there whose lives will never be the same. And of course here, something to note, not only are you never forgotten by your fellow friends, officers, and family, but speaking of family, his only sibling, his younger sister, Beth Carter, she actually became a nurse after Officer Crowley's accident and guided his care the entire time. She actually did a GoFundMe and raised funds in 2019 to bring him up here, and she actually flew down to Austin. He was in a group home in San Marcos, Texas, and flew down there, rented an RV, and drove 22 straight hours back up here to Mount Greenwood, to his old stomping ground, for his fellow police officers and friends and family to enjoy Christmas with him in 2019. So as we're getting closer now to the actual church service here coming up at St. Christina Catholic Church on the 3300 block of West 111th, that starts about 9:30 this morning. We'll get the pipes and drums of the Emerald Society massed in front of the hearse, and they will make the final escort to where he will be removed from the hearse and taken into the church. So again, Patrol Officer James Crowley, end of watch Thursday, August 22nd, 2024, injured in the line of duty Friday, September 4th, 1987, Star 4169. Thank you for your service. You will never be forgotten.
Chris, thank you so much. It's always so moving to see people lining the streets to pay tribute to a fallen officer or a firefighter.